here we are generating the indent log. The next step in the purchase department, we are having the quotation. This is the form for the quotation. Now in the quotation form, we have given you the material type selection. According to this material type selection, the material name or material subtype will come from the masters. At the time of quotation, we have given you this selection of vendor. As per your material type, you just want to see the vendors which are related to this material type only, or you want to go with the list of all vendor. So this provision we have given you in the quotation form. According to your material type and the vendor selection, the another fields which are related with the material are quotation type, whether it is local or imported for the amount calculations, material subtype, nature of material, and these all things will come from the master. Whether the GST is applicable or not, so that according to the selection, all the amount calculations will be done automatically. So likewise, you can generate the quotation from here, or you can put the quotation of your vendor in the software. After putting this quotation will also go for the approval, and after approval we are generating the logbook of the same. Here we have given you the quotation comparative chart as well. In this quotation comparative chart, you will get to know about the rates or the codes which has been sent by the different vendors for your particular material. The next tab we are having in purchase department is purchase order. In purchase order, we are new PO, the purchase for order from indent, and the purchase order for approval, and the purchase order log. Now if you have put the indent previously, then by indent as well you can generate the purchase order. For that sake, here is the second tab, PO from indent. If you have not put the indent, so you can generate the direct purchase order as well. So for that sake, here we are having the new PO. Now the format or the form for the purchase order will be like this. In this, we have included all the related fields which are basically related with your purchase order in this form. Material type selection, supplier details, bill to, ship to, and the material details. Terms and conditions as well. The terms and conditions can be add or delete. The selection. If there are any additional terms you want to put, the narrations or note. If in between you and the vendor, if there is any broker, so according to that broker name selection, you can put their percentage so that the amount calculations will be done perfectly. So likewise, you can prepare the purchase order. Same for the purchase order from indent as well. Only the difference is that as this purchase order will be generated through the indent which you have put it previously, so while generating this same, you don't have to enter the material related details and the rate related details again in the software, because software is fetching all the data from your indent data. Bill to, ship to. While generating the purchase order, we have given you the option for discount type selection. Now whether you want to go for the entire PO discount applicable, or whether the discount will be applicable as per the product wise. So according to this selection, you can put here the discount so that it will be applicable for all the materials or all the sub materials or general materials which you have put it in the purchase order. And if you want to go with the product wise, so according to that you can individually put your discount, and the calculations of amount will be automatically generated or shown here. Now the purchase order will be generated as per your vendor. So for this particular vendor, whatever the indents has been came, these all indents will be shown here. According to this indents which has been shown, you can select whatever the material you want to go for the purchase order generation. So for that sake, we have given you this selection. All the amount calculations are automatic. Here also we have given you the facility to add the terms and conditions, and likewise you can generate your purchase order. Here we have given you this third tab, which is a purchase order for approval, and finally the purchase order log. Every log you can download in Excel format or PDF format as well. Every log is having different search or filters. After purchase order, we have the next step, which is a vendor registration. So the vendors which are associated with your organization, you can register those from here. For registration of the vendors, here is the form. Their address details, contact details. If there are any additional units or branches of that particular vendor, those details also you can add from this form. The attachments like your GST certificate and manufacturing license of the vendor, and likewise you can register your vendor in the software. After vendor registration, this vendor will go for the approval. We do have vendor management or vendor audit as well. So it will be in the technical department like QA. So according to that, we will show you the vendor management and the vendor audit in the quality assurance department. The vendor log also we are having. And then last tab in this vendor management is map material. So after the vendor registration, you can map your vendor with your material type, so that whenever you are generating the purchase order, the vendors which you have matched with that particular material will only be visible at the drop down selection. So this will also be the key feature of the software, so that easily purchase order generation or the digitalized purchase order generation can be happen accurately. The next step which we are having in the purchase department is that post receiving status. Now in this tab you will get to know about your status of material, like whether it is in the sampling stage or whether it is in the GRN stage. According to your process flow, you will get to know about the status of your material from here. In the reports tab, we do have purchase report. As per the category of material, here we have given you this tab, so that for example, if you want to go with the weaving or detailing of purchase order for raw materials, so from raw material tab you can view all the purchase order which has been generated for the raw material. Same for the other material categories as well. Quotation report as well. Quotations which has been came from your vendor will be visible here in the quotation report. The training and QMS. Now in the training, the department related training operations we have given you here, like the training need identification. So the department head can put the training need identification, and according to this training need identification, they can schedule the training and announce the training for their particular department or employees as well. Training announcement. After training need identification, they can schedule or announce the training from here. Retraining or refreshers training, which will be login wise. If there is any employee which is unable to join the training or which is failed in the training, so whether they have sent to retraining or refreshers training or not, so according to that, if there is any employee for the retraining, so those employee name will come here, and according to this retraining they have to again do the training for that particular operation. On job training, we do have induction training as well. Individual training record also we are maintaining in the software, and the training evaluation. In the training evaluation, the trainings which you have attended, so according to those training, the evaluation form or the questionnaire for the training will be visible to the employees who have attended those training. And the QMS, if there is any deviation or if there is any change control you want to raise from the purchase department, so according to that, from here only you can deviate or you can raise the deviation, or you can also raise the change control. The stock book related with your raw material, packing material, and the finished good as well will be visible here. Whether your material is quarantined or under test or approved, this status you will get to know from the stock book, which is automatically generated and it is automized. Quarantine stock, under test stock, and the approved stock. Separately also you can check the status of your stock. Likewise, this is the purchase department, which is accompanied with all the purchase calculations which are automized, the digitalized purchase order generation, the vendor mapping, the receiving and the stock wise status of your material, training, and the QMS part. Thank you.